Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. Good morning or good afternoon, depending where you are on the planet. When you're listening to me, it's Marie-Ève, and this is Me Time Podcast with Marie-Ève. Oh, that's me. I'm a mindset life coach. I teach people about love attraction, love assumption, but mostly I help people change their mindset from a lack perspective to an abundant one. And I help gain self-confidence, right? I do abundance in the outer reality, but the most important is the within the self. And so today I have a lineup of a bunch of stuff I want to talk to you. You know, I had a very good weekend. This weekend was the National Women's Fair in Montreal at the Palais des Congrès, which is this big conference center. Right, so it's a huge event. I don't know, must have been hundreds of kiosks, like of booths, and people were selling their stuff, and it was quite an experience for me. I've been working by myself for 3 years now, and I've done a lot of work, not like all the time, but like inspired action. And so to go there, I talked with one of my friends. I apologize for my dog. I was just going after my cat. Sorry about that noise if you heard that. Anyway, so before like the day of this setup, which was Thursday, I talked with one of my friends and I was crying. Like, you know what? It would have been nice to have a team. The people I had asked support and I've had asked for help before, I did not get that help. And so I was by myself at this huge event, again, by myself. And it felt very, very lonely. Anyway, the setup went very well. I'm like, oh, I don't have anyone. No, when I'm going to do my conference, nobody's going to be at my booth. And in the end, when I got my booth, I was right beside the stage. So it was like not an issue whatsoever. And I do know that the universe always supports me. And so the people who were matched to meeting me, hey, Archie, the people who were matched to meeting and chatting with me, they found a way to come and talk to me. I had this beautiful Aladdin's lamp. And so I always do the metaphor when I go into those kiosks and I say, so I got this lamp and I got my beautiful pink dress and like I look super fancy. And I'm like, so I'm the genie of the lamp and you have wishes, 3 wishes. What's your first wish? That's kind of my attention grabber that I do with people. Because then I say, okay, so let's say their first wish is I want to have a house, or my house, a bigger house, or I want more money. And I ask them, so what do you want to do with the money? Or like, why do you not have that house yet? And then from the reason why you don't have that house or the relationship, now we can see what the limiting beliefs are and what their fears are. Oh, I don't have enough money. Oh, I don't have enough this, or, everything's going to come at one time, just not right now. I'm not ready. Or then I look with them why they're not ready. And so when they ask me, so when they say, I want money, I say, what do you want the money for? Because the universe will give you money, but it's not the money you want. It's the money to buy the house, to travel, to do this, right? So when people say, I don't have enough money, I said, well, the truth is you choose right now by saying every time you look at your bank account and you say, I don't have enough money, through love assumption, the universe has to prove you right that you do not have enough money, right? So that's my attention grabber with the magic lamp. And I'm like, well, the universe is the genie of the lamp, except you don't just have 3 wishes, you got unlimited wishes. Everything you desire, you can get. Asking it's received, asking it's given, sorry. And so it's just a matter of, why is it not here yet? It's because there's a part of you that has resistance to having it. So that was fun this weekend. I chatted with a bunch of ladies. It worked out well. Even one of my friends, she came and helped on the Sunday. And everything was just lining up so beautifully. And like, the synchronicities, everything is always imperfect. Perfect timing. She would grab people, talk with them. They would stay with her while I was chatting with other people. And it was busy at one point. It was super fun. I think discussion, like I was doing some coaching with the ladies. And one of my questions I asked to a few people is, on a scale of 0 to 10, you're what? We see pretty women, we're like, oh my God, she's a 10. Oh my God, he's an 8. Or like, what, right? We've been programmed to judge people on their appearances, or oh, well, that's an 8. Oh, that's a 9. Or how do I feel? So you would say I'm a 6 or maybe a 7 top. And I would be like, what's stopping you from being a 10 right now? What is stopping you right now for you saying that you're a 10 out of 10? Oh, I need to lose weight, or I need to do this, or nobody's a 10, nobody's perfect, or like whatever reasons they had. That also was another of my grabber, my attention grabber. So I'm like, what's stopping you from saying to yourself that you're a 10 right now? Because every time you are not saying you're a 10, you're telling your inner child that you don't love them unconditionally and that they're 8. Would you tell a 5-year-old that they're ugly? Would you tell a 5-year-old, oh, you're just a 6 out of 10 for mommy? No, you would not. We look at ourselves in the mirror like, oh my God, look at my dark circle. Oh, look at my hair, so gross. Look at my belly. Look at this arm flap or whatever. But you have an inner child in your body, and every time you say, oh my God, look at this, it's not good enough. I need to lose weight before I love myself, before I'm happy. You're telling that little 5-year-old in front of you, you're not good enough. Girl, baby girl, you should lose that little baby weight, that belly weight, right? Baby girl, nobody's gonna love you. You have dark circles under your eyes. And this is something that a lot of people felt. I say, imagine now, every time you look at yourself, imagine you're talking to that little 5-year-old you in front of you, because she thinks you're beautiful. She thinks you think she's beautiful, but every time you say those things, those negative things about yourself, you're telling that to a kid. And for me, that changed a lot when that relationship with me and my inner being and me and my inner child is like, I would never tell my daughters, man, this is not, you're not ugly. Your hair is all blood. Nobody's going to love you for that. Oh, gross. So why is it okay to tell to myself? It is not. Why is it not okay for somebody to mistreat me and emotionally abuse me and tell me I'm not good enough? Why is it not okay for them to say that, but it's okay for me to think it? You're not good enough. Nobody's gonna love you, right? No wonder you're by yourself. No wonder you're single. Oh my God! Like, this is why I'm a mindset life coach and self-love life coach, right? This is why I help women, mostly right now it's women, but anyone gain that self-confidence, and so that they can choose their 10. Who has the power to say you're 10 out of 10? You do. Because the thing is, we're always proven right no matter what we believe, to the law of assumption. And so if I keep saying I'm an 8 or I'm a 5 out of 10, the universe, who's the genie of the lamp, will be like, she believes she's a 5 out of 10. I have to prove her right. All right, master, here's your wish. I will prove to you that you're a 5. Boom, it's done. And now you attract what? The guy who leaves you and sleeps or like goes with the other ladies are like 8, 9, 10s. Then you attract the thoughts in your head that say, oh yeah, I'm not good enough. I remember my dad saying this. I remember this guy leaving me. If you choose that you're a 5, you're gonna attract. Every time you're gonna look in the mirror, you're gonna say, oh yeah, I should change this. This needs to change. Oh my God, right? I'm not good enough. But the moment you decide that you're a 10 out of 10, you decide. It's your choice. The universe has to prove you right. So if you say I'm a 5 out of 10, you'll attract evidence that you are. In your brain, again, I'm gonna mess up this word, but the activated reticulum system. It's a part in your brain. And that part will find evidence of what you're looking for. So if you're looking for evidence you're a 5, you'll get the guy or the girl who's gonna dump you for a better looking person in your eyes, right? But the day you decide you're a 10, the universe will be like, well, master, you believe you're 10? I have to prove you right. Boom. And then what's gonna happen? First, your brain's gonna start seeing different things. They will see things differently. Like, what I thought was my dark circles actually just, I'm not tired. Is just my bone structure, which is, for me, that was my own thing. For a long time, my dark circles under my eye was like the worst. That was so bad. But it made me think of being like, I look like my mother, but those dark circles made me think I was part of the family of the man who abused my mother sexually when she was a kid, right? So like, it was subconscious, but still, these little dark circle were gross because of all that was implied with it, right? But now, like, I'm a 10, I'm like, well, I choose I'm a 10. Doesn't matter. I can be down, depressed, sleeping all day long. I'm still a 10. I could be that person who's like super high, like, yeah, let's do this and perform it and going out in the world and doing a bunch of stuff, being everywhere. I would still be a 10. But there was a time in my life where I didn't believe that me just getting out of bed, brushing my teeth, doing my bed, and going back to bed after bringing my girls to school and daycare, obviously, was worth a 10. My worthiness was always on what I could do for others, what I could do in the world, and not on who I was. So for somebody to love me for just being me, not because I was giving to them, was pouring in my own head, right? So now it's like, no, I am worthy. I am a 10 because I choose I'm a 10. I'm my own authority. I'm my own validation. My dad who says whatever, that guy who says whatever, what they see in me is only their own limitation. If he says, I wouldn't do that if I was you, but you're not me, good thing, right? Because I don't want to be you. I don't want to be you. Thank you. People will transpose their own limitation on you. So if they don't see their own worth, they can't see your worth. And if you don't see yours, people can give it to you. They can't tell you about it because you will not even believe them. So even if you're like, oh my God, you have your dream man who's unconditionally loving you, you will see this as a red flag, or like, is he just faking it? Is he just like, is he for real? Or like, really? Like, what's your problem? Right? This was not accepted before. This is why self-love is the most important love you can give, because you're the love of your life. You are born with yourself, you die with yourself, even your life partner and your kids, they're not going to be there 24/7 with you. You live in your head all day long. You look at yourself in the mirror all day long. Like, maybe not, but you are with your own self all the time. So this is why it's not the dream relationship with the guy or the girl you're looking for. It's not the dream career you're looking for. It's not, you don't want to lose the weight. That's not why you're doing exercise. You want to love yourself. And that's why I also, I have a part, I'm a beach body coach as well. And because for me, it was important to say, hey, those women that are going to take all these programs and are putting their body through diets and like super rigorous exercise programs, what's your goal? It's to love yourself. What's stopping you from loving yourself right now as you are? Because then once your inner child feels love, it's going to stop acting out. That extra weight you've gained is not because you were not moving. It's because your body, as you have repressed emotion, and then now it's stored in your body because you haven't dealt with them. So I talk with the ladies. I oftentimes, especially with the pandemic, people are like, yeah, pandemic happened, and they're like rubbing their belly, their little fat belly. It's not even fat, it's just a little bigger. And like, well, I need to get back in shape. I let myself loose. I allow myself. Oh, so you allow yourself to rest. Good job. You allow yourself to treat yourself to things you enjoy. Great job. But now, because every time, the thing is, it's not the food that you eat, it's not the exercise that you do, it's the belief you have about it. So if you eat lettuce and you're like, oh God, I have to eat that lettuce, the energy you're putting on that food is what you're eating. It's not the actual food. You could eat a piece of paper and believe this is the best thing in the planet. And if you truly believe it, it's going to give you results because it's all in the mind. You could eat that bag of chips and still, if you have to believe that I'm fine, my inner being is always getting me to the food I need at the moment, you will be fine and will not gain weight whatsoever. But it starts from here. So what's the purpose? So people don't like themselves. They'll punish themselves into doing exercise that they don't like. A lot of people don't like it. They're doing it to lose the weight. And then they wonder why they're gaining the weight back again. It's about mindset. It's about your brain. Anyway, so this weekend I talked with a bunch of ladies, and many of them, I was very surprised. Many of them went through like physical, sexual, and emotional abuse. And because of people who were doing trash behaviors with them, those people who were not good enough for them, those people, those women, as they were growing up, they believe they were the problem, right? If you're a child and your parents are not treating you well, you're kind of aware they're not, but because to be somebody like to feel safe as a child and not die, for survival, um, you're gonna put your parent, like my parents, they know better than me. Obviously, they're the parents, they're the authority. We put them on a pedestal. So if I'm not receiving the love I'm deserving and wanting, I guess there's a problem with me because my parents are perfect, right? That's kind of the mindset. Even though we know it's wrong, we're already in a young age, we start gaslighting ourselves. I know I don't fit, so we stop listening to intuition. I know it doesn't feel right, but they're their parents, so they must know better. And we grow up, and at one point, like, I still feel like I want to say like I still feel like shit. But it's not because I am. It's not because I'm not good enough. It's not because I'm unworthy. It's not because I did something wrong. They did something wrong. I was just a child. I was perfect. I was great. They couldn't handle this. They couldn't handle their emotion. They couldn't handle all of that. But that was on them. My parents were not enough, right? So it's just a matter of it's not me. It was never me the problem. It was them. So it's never like with all the clients, the people I talk to, it's like, man, girl, you got abused. It was not you the problem. It was that person, right? But then they grew up thinking they were the problem. It's like, no, girl. Now that's why we rewire and we change that story of you've always been good enough. So that's something. And even this morning, I was listening to a TikTok video where the guy's like, women have no worth, they have no value. It's like if you have a son, like if they've been with hundreds of men or like whatever, like a bunch of number of men, and they've been all rejected by these men, you have no value because why would I come and say, like he was commanding like women and versus sandwich. It's like if there's a sandwich on the street and 100 people looked at it, didn't want it, well, why would I want you? It's like, why would I want you? Nobody else wanted you, so I'm not going to want you. There must be something wrong with you, right? I was like, and I was so angry at this video. I'm like, I was trying to make a comment, but we couldn't stitch, you couldn't do anything, obviously. Whether something like this, I knew it was to provoke me. It did. And I'm like, man, I kind of find my purpose or my passion. I'm like, yeah, I'm helping women sing their freaking word because men like this make them feel like trash. And the thing is, if we go with the example of that sandwich that's on the floor that 100 people didn't want, it's your favorite sandwich on the entire planet, you'll be glad that this sandwich is there. Do I give a crap that all the other 100 people didn't want it? No, I'm going to be super happy they didn't want it because now I get to have it. Because it's mine, it was made for me. The universe made sure it was not going to be touched by anyone else because it was mine. Or if it was touched, it would still be mine because I knew I would love it. So the same thing for the woman. If you've been discarded by many, many men or a few men, it does not affect your worth whatsoever. Because it's like saying, well, the only way you can be worthy is if you're a kid, right? Because we all have baggage. We all have our journey. So the woman who didn't see her own worth and had a lot of people, not because you don't see your worth that you don't have it. You didn't see it, right? But at one point, what, dude, are you looking for a kid? Because even kids get physically abused and sexually abused and get discarded by their own parents. So you're pretty much saying nobody's worthy. And I feel for the guy because if that's his belief, he doesn't see his own worth. He needs to be perfect all the time and nothing can be wrong. But at the same time, it's like, dude, I would not even want you. I could be that price and I would not want you. Like that mindset's like gross. But it's like, no, you have worth just because you're alive, just because you're born, you have worth and you're valued. And who gets to say if you have value or not? You do. Doesn't matter if you have a trash past, consider it a trash past. If we go with, a bunch of abuse, doesn't matter if you slept with 20 million guys or women, you still have value. And your dream person, it won't bother them that you have a past because they're your freaking dream person. My dream person will love me for who I am in its entirety. My good, my bad, my ugly, my awesome, my messy, my all of it. He's my dream man. My dream man would not want me. So your dream person would not want you. He's your dream person, right? So now you got to become the person who does want you. Do you want yourself? And if not, please message me. I charge $500 an hour, and we will go down that route and seeing why you can't say you're 10. We will go and do that work within one session, within half an hour with those ladies. I took one lady from a 5 out of 10. Like, she's like, oh, I'm a 5. She was a 9 after like 15, 20 minutes of chatting with her. The other, our friend who could not talk, like, she's like, I didn't want to share anything because I didn't know if I could trust you. She opened up with me after talking with this person. So it's not because you've been feeling like this for 20, 30 years. A lot of the time, like, somebody said, oh, well, no, it's been 30 years. I've had this belief. Time is of no essence. It doesn't matter if you've had the same belief and you've tried to work for 20 years with that same therapist or with therapists about this same issue. With the right tools, and when you're into receiving mode, I can bring you to a 0. You can feel nothing after. Like, you can't stop thinking about it. I will make you feel like a 10 out of 10. I said 0 because usually what we do in coaching, in my coaching, is like, okay, on a scale of 0 to 10, standing super strong, how is that I feel unworthy, or I feel I'm not good enough. And they're like, oh, that's a 9. So that's a pretty strong, man, I really feel I'm not good enough. And then, but to questions, which, by the way, you can work with me one-on-one, but I also have a seminar I'm offering. It's in English. I have English and French. It's already on my website. You can go Freedom Formula, the Freedom Formula seminar on marie-eve.com. And there's already a pre-recorded version. And in June, I am offering it live on June 1st, 8th, 15th, and 22nd from 2 to 3:30 in English. I'm doing the program live as well. So not only are we doing the inventory, so it's called the APA, which is Attraction Point Audit, so that we're going in your past. We don't need the whole story. We're going to your past, seeing what was the worst in your relationship and how you failed in those, in your past work and with family members. And then I give you the tools, the tool to bust those limiting beliefs and fears yourself that I use in my own coaching, right? So this program is amazing. You can work with me one-on-one and I'll do it with you. Or you can take that seminar, which is $297 US, and it's live, like lifetime. Like, you go in, it's already recorded, and you have access to support with me on Facebook, and you have access with me when I do the lives, where I'm also doing some coaching in person, like, right? Because my goal is to be able to offer everyone that tool so that they can live a life of freedom, and so that you don't need to go see always a therapist when you have that tool. For me, a therapist was just like going to sit an hour, giving them $100 for sharing my day or sharing my struggle. I had a couple tools, but nothing as efficient as the program I'm offering. So anyway, I needed to share that with you because those believe. I did that with the ladies, and within a few minutes, the reframe is just simply amazing, and the relief that they feel is so worth it. And like, just from that weekend, I'm still going to talk about that weekend because it was an awesome weekend. I have a guy who was my coach. So he used to be my coach. Like, he was my coach up to a couple of weeks ago. And so like, his energy was around me. Like, at one point before I went on this Saturday, I messaged him. He's got a tendency of just liking when I write to him in private, he just likes my comment, right? He doesn't ghost me, but he just likes and does not write anything, which is triggering a lot of shit. Like, oh, he doesn't like me, I'm unworthy. Oh, of course, like whatever, like whatever us anxious people, like, I'm not saying I'm anxious, but people, like, I've had this happen before. I'm like, of course, now he's not liking me. And right, the negative self-talk of like, I'm unworthy, otherwise he would message me. I'm unworthy, I'm not good enough because he would write to me. Anyway, I had this, and this weekend I stopped myself because I said, I'm not great at making people, like, I'm making sales. I'm going to say I was not great. Well, let's just say that. And so I was like, how do I get people to sign up? Like, I got my program. Do I go online with them? Do I just, because I would take their names and say, I'm going to contact you again this week, whatever. I don't know how to do this stuff. I do not know that this is my weakness that I'm working on. But it was like, like, I know how I would do it. And I said, how would I do that? Like, how can I get someone to sign up right now as I'm sitting with them? And it's just like my comment, like not even like just like a heart. I'm like, fucker. Like, you're really like, thanks for the support. I appreciate it. Like, I was pissed off. Like, you know what? There's no point in asking for help. People don't give me anything, right? Even this guy, I'm like, he's not giving me the support I'm deserving, that I'm asking for help. And oh, you're so helping. No, I didn't get anything. Anyways, I said, you know what? I know my inner being's gonna figure it out. It's not his job. And anyway, there's a bunch of stuff I don't agree with this person, like that, the way he does things. And that's okay, right? We all have our ways. We all have our energies and our, like, that's his way. There's just a couple of things that's not a match to me. So I said, in the end, he would have probably suggested how he does it. And I most likely would have said, not my way, thank you, I'm going to do it my way, right? Because in the past, I would say, you can give me homework. If I don't feel like doing them, I will not do them. If it does not match with my energy and where I am right now, it's not going to happen. Anyway, so at the end of the weekend, I messaged him back. I said, thank you for not responding. And I really meant it. I was not like sarcastic. I said, thank you for just showing me that you're still there, right? The fear of being abandoned, no, that was taken care of. Like, okay, I'm still loved or whatever, because I love myself right now. It was a mirror of like, okay, how am I taking this? Him not responding can be seen as he doesn't love me, doesn't like me, doesn't support me, or he does and he trusts me. I said, you know what? Thank you for not responding, because now I was able to trust myself and doing my own way, which I was able to connect with people and support them instead of wanting to just make a sale, right? I was able to connect genuinely with those women instead of just wanting them in my program. And so this for me was like, thank you. Honestly, thank you. Because I choose that even though you didn't answer, I am worthy and lovable, and that my inner being always has my back. And I choose that my way is my way. And even if you would have something said what your way was, it most likely would not have been a match to who I am and how I do things. So thank you for having trusted that I would do the right thing for me. And I chose this version of what it meant to not be. Like I said, I even said, most likely your answer would not have been enough. It would not have been enough for me. Right? It's not that I'm not good enough. It's that you don't have the answer that matched me. So for me, that was like, instead of saying and beating myself up, oh my God, it's horrible. Now, this is how I chose to see the situation. And I'm like, I was so proud of me. Like, doesn't matter what the guy does anymore. Oh, dude, I said, doesn't matter his intention, right? Doesn't matter. I say, I'm going to choose how I see it. And if it's a match, it's a match. If it's not, doesn't matter. I will not see myself as being less than because of somebody's behavior. And if he doesn't think I'm that lovable, doesn't matter. I think I am. But man, this was an eye-opening for me. This was an amazing weekend. And just that interaction of me, right, writing to someone who doesn't respond back, and finally choosing that I am lovable and worthy no matter what. That was like a huge breakthrough for me. Because now I was still looking for his validation and support. Well, my inner being has given me validation on everything that I've been doing. And so is your inner being. And I really trust you. Like, even though you ask for people who've worked for 40 years in the field, they may have worked in the same field as you for 40 years, but where you're going, their way is no good, because it has to be your way that's going to be done. So anyway, on this for today, I will give you can message me. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Marie-Mongrain90. That's MARIEMONGRAIN 90. And my website is Marie-Ève Mongrain, MARIEEVEMONGRAIN.com. And I will see you next time. I'm going to record another one right now. Anyway, so I can't wait to see if anything, like, please feel free to message me, feel free to comment. Anything, if this has been helpful, please share it with other people, because that's my goal, right? I'm sharing my resources, my nuggets with you so that you can transform your own life as well. So on this, I love you guys, and I will talk to you soon. Ciao. Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.